सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्. In the last class, we have completed 14th chapter called Gunatraya Vibhaga Yogam. Now we shall start the 15th chapter called Purushottama Prapti Yogam or Purushottama Yogam. This is one of the smallest chapters in Bhagavad Gita. It consists of only 20 slokas. And this is also one of the most important and popular chapters in Gita. It is often used as a prayer slokas before taking food. Therefore, generally when this chapter is chanted, people remember the food rather than the Lord. But it is very important Vedantic chapter. It contains a lot of points about Jiva Ishvara Aikyam and Jnanam. Since it occurs in the last Shatkam of Gita, all three important topics are included in this chapter also. The three important themes of the third Shatkam are Jnana Yoga as a sadhana, Jnana Yoga as Jivatma Paramatma Aikyam, and the important values, so-called Sadgunas, as a preparatory step for Aikya Jnanam. That means Jnana Yogam, Aikyam and Sadgunas. These are the three important topics which are dealt in this particular chapter. These three are the main themes of the last Shatkam, that is the third Shatkam of Bhagavad Gita. All these three topics have been well dealt within this chapter. This chapter is titled Purushottama Yogam. In this chapter, 15th chapter, Purushottama Yogam, the word Purushottama means Nirguna Chaitanyam. It does not refer to Saguna Ishvara. Neither it refers to Saguna Vishnu, nor Saguna Krishna, and of course not Saguna Ishvara or Saguna Siva. It refers to Nirguna Brahma, Nirguna Chaitanyam. And this meaning is given by Paramatma at the end of this chapter. There can be no controversy about this because Paramatma himself pronounces that Purushottama means attributeless consciousness. Yoga means the subject matter. So Purushottama Yoga means the topic of Nirguna Brahma, which is the meaning of this title. The main teaching of the chapter is Purushottama Yogam, that is, the topic is Nirguna Brahma Chaitanyam, is the topic of this chapter. So with this understanding, we shall enter to the chapter proper. We will first see the sloka number 1. Sri Bhagavanu Vacha Urdhva Moola Madasakam Asvedham Prahuravyayam Chandansi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Savedavit. Sri Bhagavanu Vacha, Lord said, Prahuhu, they speak of Avyayam Aswatham, the eternal fig tree, that is samsara. Urdhva Moolam, whose taproot is above. Adaha Shakham, whose branches are below. Yasya parnani, whose leaves. Chandansi are Vedas. Sa yaha Veda, he who knows. Tam iti Vedavit, he is the knower of the Vedas. Chandansi yasya parnani santitam aswatham urdhvamolam ataha sekam avyayam prahuhu. Yaha tam veda saha vedavit iti uchyate. Paramatma said, they speak of eternal peepal tree, which is nothing but samsara, whose taproot is above and whose branches are below, and whose leaves are the Vedas. He who knows it is the knower of Vedas. As the very title of this chapter shows, the topic is Nirguna Brahma. By the study of this chapter, we will get to know Nirguna Brahma Jnanam. And naturally, a person will have a question. Why should I get Nirguna Brahma Jnanam at all? Because even a fool would not go after any knowledge unless and until he expects some benefit out of it. Prayojana manuddisya mandopina pravartate. This is Shastra Vakyam. The subject we study in the college is from the standpoint of the employment. And the employment is from the standpoint of Udara-nimittam bahukruta veshaha. So, the question will come, why should I get Brahmajnanam or Nirguna Brahmajnanam? So, the question will come, why should I get Brahmajnanam? We should remember that Paramatma is giving here Brahmajnanam as a means of moksha or freedom. Moksha sadhanam or Brahmajnanam is freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from samsaram. Then immediately next question comes. What is samsara? Moksha is for samsara nivrutti. Freedom from samsara, that means samsara nivrutti. Then immediately the question comes, what is samsara? Then samsara is the varieties of problem that a human being is continuously facing. And to get out of these problems, he continuously runs about. So, the autobiography of an individual is the biography of an auto. That's what Swamiji says. That means the biography of auto is running around. An individual's biography is also running around to evade the problems posed by samsara. So, samsara means continuously facing problem. Continuously facing problems and running about to get rid of these problems. And this struggle is called samsara. And freedom from the samsara is called moksha. Brahmajnanam is the remedy for samsara. According to Vedanta, Brahmajnanam is not one of the remedies. It is the only remedy available. And even if we make use of some other remedies, ultimately we have to come to Vedanta. All other remedies are only palliative. Only Vedanta is curative. It will solve the problem for good. Therefore, Brahmajnanam is for moksha. Moksha is for freedom from samsara, for samsara nivrutti. Now the thing is clear. I would like to get rid of the samsara. Only and only if I think samsara is a problem. Only if a person looks upon the samsara as a problem. He alone would love to get rid of this. If a person says, I am very, very comfortable as a samsari, In fact, many people laughingly say, I'm a big samsari. Therefore, as long as a person loves samsara, he would not like moksha. As long as he does not like moksha, for him Brahmajnanam is irrelevant, not necessary. Therefore, Brahmajnanam is relevant only for those who have seen and discerned the problems of samsara. So, samsara dosha darsanam is required for moksha ichcha. Samsara dosha darsanam is a prerequisite for moksha ichcha. Since I was a samsari and the interest in Brahmajnanam is a prerequisite for continuously attending the classes. Therefore, Paramatma wants the students to continue, and that is possible only when they have diagonized the problem. So, the samsara dosha darsanam is a prerequisite, and one must know what are all the doshas. If and only if a person understands the dosha in samsara, then he will go for remedy, for treatment. So this samsara is a roga. It is a disease called bhavaroga. So for bhavaroga or samsara roga, I must find a remedy. So the remedy will come only if I see that the samsara is a problem, samsara is a roga, samsara is a disease. So for this, Paramatma presented 2.5 slokas, that means the first 2 slokas and the first line in the third sloka as a presentation of the samsara. So he presented how the samsara is full of pain, full of troubles, full of agony. So this is the presentation by Paramatma. Here, Arjuna did not ask any question. Paramatma being Jagat Guru, he volunteered. He wanted to explain in detail about samsara so that Arjuna can understand and pursue moksha. This is the topic here. And then the first sloka is borrowed from Kathopanishad mantra. Urdhvamolo avakshekaha yesho swastat sanatanaha tadeva sukram tad brahma tadevamruta bhutyate tasmin lokasritaha sarve tadunatyeti kaschana etadvaitat. This is the Kathopanishad mantram in the second chapter, third section, first mantra. Paramatma did not bodily lift this mantra. He took the very essence and modified this mantra and then presented here. He takes some portion of the mantra, and in that mantra, the universe is changing universe and life is changing. This changing aspect of the life and the universe is compared to a huge Aswatha Vruksham. Shankara Bhagavad Pada gives a very, very elaborate commentary on this, both in his Kathopanishad Bhashyam as well as Gita Bhashyam. Shankara gives an elaborate commentary in which he studies the common features between samsara and Aswatha Vriksha. Because a comparison is possible only when two things have got common features. If you say somebody looks like a drumstick, it doesn't mean you can eat him. You can cook him and eat him. It means that he is thin and tall. So you have to take the comparison only to a certain extent. So in this analysis, Shankara Bhagavad Pada has given the commonalities called sadharmyam between a peepal tree Aswadha Vriksham, and the samsara. The first common feature is Mahatvam. Mahatvam means both of them are very huge, very, very vast. The vastness is a common feature. The universe is also very, very huge and vast, and Aswadha Vriksha is also a very huge tree. It is not a small plant. So this hugeness is a common feature in both samsara and Aswadha Vriksha. The second common feature is Adyantarahitam. We cannot trace the beginning of the both. Which one of the fundamental questions every seeker poses? When did the universe start? This is the very fundamental question every seeker poses. Why am I born? So, when a seeker poses, immediately Guru says you are born because of your karma, your prarabdha karma. How did I get prarabdha karma? Next question. Then Guru says in the previous janma you did some karma and you accrued some prarabdha, because of that you have taken this birth. Then why did I get to the previous janma? Then Guru immediately says in the janma previous to previous janma you did some work and accrued some prarabdha, so you got previous janma. Then this clever seeker poses an intelligent question. He says, okay, in that case, where is the prarabdham for me in the very first janma? Where is the karma for me in the first janma? I don't have any karma, any prarabdha, because it all starts with a zero janma. Then Guru says, there is no beginning for birth and there is no end also for the birth. This is anadi. This is beginningless. It is not a linear model, it is a circular model. For a circle, there is no beginning, there is no end point. So, the entire Srishti, the first Srishti or first Janma, we cannot talk of because it is beginningless. Anadi. So, Adi Antarahitam. It is neither having beginning nor will it have end. It will go eternally because it is a cyclic in nature. So, this is what we talk about the samsara or birth-death cycle or the Srishti cycle. Then about the people tree, the people tree is born out of the seed. The seed is born out of the tree. So which is first? It is very difficult to say. It is beginningless. Just as samsara, just as janma, just as srishti. They are all anadi. This is all cyclic, a circular model. So that means adi anta rahitatvam. This is the second common feature between the two. The third common feature is anirvachaniyatvam, inexplicability. Logically, we cannot categorize this. We can never say a particular thing is a cause or an effect. We can never pinpoint a thing as a cause or an effect, because from one standpoint, a thing may be a cause. The very same thing can be an effect in another standpoint. For example, if you take today, is it a cause or effect? What reply can we give? From yesterday's point, today is effect. From tomorrow's standpoint, today is the cause. So, we cannot confirm. It all depends on the standpoint. A person is an effect or a cause, if you ask, from the standpoint of his parents, he is the effect. And from the standpoint of his children, he is the cause. So we cannot pinpoint whether a particular thing is cause or effect. It is very, very difficult to pinpoint. Similarly, if you take a guru, from the standpoint of his sishyas, he is a guru. From the standpoint of his guru, he is a sishya. So, this way, we cannot specially say, this is the thing. It all depends on the standpoint. More you probe into creation, more mysterious it becomes. That is why it is not possible to express explicitly. This is anirvachaniyam, not possible to define. And this is the common feature for people tree, because whether it has come from seed, whether the seed is first or the tree is first, we cannot identify. Similarly, samsara, we cannot talk about the beginning. So, both are cyclic in nature, both are circular in model. So, they are not definable. Anirvachaniyam. This is the thing we have to understand. This is the third feature between the samsara and the aswadha vruksham. The fourth feature is moolatvam. More you go into the beginning, the feature of the beginning, the tree has got a root. You can never have a tree without a root below. The peculiarity of the root is the tree is visible, but the root is never visible. Pramana agocharam. Whereas the root is underneath, so it cannot be seen by our eyes. But you can always say there is a root by looking at the tree. In the similar way, the entire Jagat is visible, but the root of this Jagat, which is Almighty, is not visible. He is not Pramana Gocharam. So, the Moolatvam is the fourth feature. That is the Moola Karanam is the fourth feature. Moola Karanam for Jagat is Chaitanya Tattvam or Paramatma, which is invisible. The Karyam, which is Jagat, is visible. In the same way, the Moola Karanam of the Aswatha Vruksham, which is the taproot, is invisible. The tree is visible. So the Moolatvam is the common feature. Fifth common feature is Shakavatvam. A huge tree has got many branches, spreading far and wide. Some branches are on the top, some are on the middle, some are on the lower side. So, it is spread all over. So, the universe is also spread vastly by various lokas. According to our scriptures, there are 14 lokas. Including earth, there are 7 lokas. Above earth, there are 6 lokas which are called Urdhva lokas, which are Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Swaha, Mahaha, Tapaha, Janaha, Satya. So, beneath the earth means the lokas which are lower in nature, that means the lokas where a jiva gets punishment, they are called Hina lokas. They are 7. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Patala. So 7 lokas are there, the lokas of punishment. So in toto, there are 14 lokas. They are all branches of this samsara. Just as we have the branches of the people tree, Aswatha Vruksham. So it depends on the karma. A jiva goes to a particular loka. Urdhvam gachanti sattvastaha, madhye tishtanti rajasaha, jaganya gunavrittistaha, adho gachanti tamasaha. This is what we have learnt in the previous chapter. So, the lokas are the branches. Just as the people tree has got various branches, the samsara also got various lokas as branches. Sekavatvam is one common feature. Then the sixth common feature is called parnatvam. The tree is full of leaves and so thick of foliage, you do not even see a trunk and branches. So many leaves are there, and similarly, universal tree has got the leaves in the form of karmani, karma kanda of Vedas compared to the leaves of the samsara tree, people tree. The people tree is samsara tree. It represents samsara. So here you will require a slight explanation. Why do we compare karmakanda to the leaves of the tree? The leaves are very important for perpetuation of the tree or growth of the tree. For continuation, sustenance of the tree, leaves are important. In fact, leaves protect the tree and helps the tree to survive. And you know, the leaves alone have got the chlorophyll. That is why it is green in color. And it does photosynthesis, thereby it cooks food. And because of that alone, the tree survives. And through osmotic pressure, it absorbs water. You have the Vedas are compared to the leaves of this samsara tree or aswadha vriksham. Vedas means karmakanda of Vedas are called chandansi. The karmakanda will make a person do lot of karma. If you want children, you perform some putra kameshti. Like that, for every desire, there is a karma prescribed in Veda. So by doing karma, you accrue some punyam. If you do bad karma, you get some papam. So because of this punya papa, the person is born again. So for the sustenance of the samsara, the karma is very important because jiva does lot of work. He accrues agami and some of the agami, it will remain as prarabdha so that causes another janma. So this leaves are very important. This is called parnatvam. Parnatvam means having leaves. Aswadha vriksham has got leaves, so much so the entire samsara has got the leaves called karma kanda. Then the seventh common feature is phalavatvam. Most of the trees will have fruits because they have to attract birds for perpetuation. The tree means phala or the fruit. The fruits are three types. Some of them are sweet, some of them are sour, some of them are, katamita. It's a mixture of both sweet and sour. Some fruits, they are very sour. Some fruits are, having a mixed taste. So, when a bird eats these things, depending on the taste, it enjoys sometimes. Sometimes it gets, a a bad feeling. Similarly, the karmas will give the phalam. In samsara, because of our karmas, we have to undergo certain phalas. So, some are good, some are bad. You want to pursue your career abroad. You got everything perfectly well, and you are about to fly. You are in the peak of your joy. But suddenly, you got a letter that your admission is cancelled. Then the entire joy collapses. You are in the a peak of disappointment, depression. So this happens, both the pain and pleasure takes place because of our karma, previous karma. So this is called phalam. This phalam happens because of our karma. Sometimes you get good phalam, sometimes you get bad phalam, sometimes you get mixture. You cannot decide. Ishvara gives the phalam. Ishvara is the karma phala data. You can never dictate the phalam. So, this phalam is the characteristic of the samsara. Phalam is inevitable. When you perform a karma, phalam is inevitable. You have to accept it. Whether it is in favor of you or not in favor of you, you have no choice. So this phalavatvam is the common feature for Aswadha Vruksham as well as the samsara. Then the eighth feature is the Pakshi Asrayatvam. The tree becomes a support for many birds. So the birds will live there and they create a nest and live in the branch. And the tree is a support for many birds. They cannot eat the tree, they can eat the fruits. So they can take the branches and they can create nest. So many birds live in support of a tree. So Pakshi Asrayatvam is the eighth feature. In the similar way, a jiva lives in various lokas depending on his prarabdha. Just as Pakshi takes asrayam in a tree, Aswadha Vruksham is a support, is an asrayam for many birds. In the similar way, lokas are support or asrayam for many jivas. If a jiva takes birth in Urdhva lokas, he takes Deva Sariram and he enjoys all the pleasures and the enticement there. So he enjoys the stay in Urdhva lokas. If he is having a higher punya, he is entitled to Urdhvam Gacchanti Sattvastaha. That is what the sloka says. A sattvic person who does all good things, who accrued lot of punyam, is entitled to Urdhva lokas. And he takes Deva Sariram. And he takes Ashraya in Urdhva lokas. A person who has got mixture, a Rajasic person, he is born in the Matsya Loka, in the Bhuloka, with a Manava Sariram. Whereas a person who doesn't do any good work, he drops down to Hina Lokas. So he takes a body which is befitting the Hina Lokas. His body is called Yatana Sariram. So this is what we have seen in Mandukya Upanishad, how two birds are sitting on a branch of a tree how one bird enjoys and also feels bad when the fruit is not good, whereas another bird is looking at it, is not eating but enjoys. That sloka is very famous. Dva supanna sayuja sakaya samanam ruksham parishasvajate tayoranyaha pippalam swadvati anasnan anyo abhicha kasiti. The Jivatma bird, perched samsara tree, experiences sweet and bitter fruits. So, Pakshi Asrayatvam is the eighth feature. Pakshis, all the birds, they take support of the tree. In the similar way, Jiva takes the support of the lokas. The ninth feature is Chalanavatvam. A huge tree, it shakes and it moves to and fro by the wind. Especially when the wind is very powerful, a cyclonic wind. You see the trees are moving to and fro. Sometimes they fall also. Even when the tree is very huge, if the wind is so strong, sometimes the tree may be uprooted also because of the wind. So the movement of the tree is possible, and you see the leaves are also, moving to and fro when there is a wind. In the same way, the whole samsara tree, along with all jivas, they move here and there because of the wind of prarabdha karma. So we are all taken to various conditions, various places, various situations, lashed by the wind of prarabdha. People say, I wanted to be in Chennai, but got transferred to Goa. So this is the life. You want to settle somewhere, but you land up somewhere else. This Chalanavatvam is a common thing in samsara and also in the samsara tree and also in the Aswadha Vruksham. This is the ninth feature which we have completed. Then the 10th and final feature is Chadavatvam. Even though the tree is very, very huge, by appropriate effort, this tree can be uprooted. It is possible to put an end to the tree and this cycle. The cycle means we said that seed and the tree cycle. They are anadi. That's what we have already discussed. Adi anta rahitam in the beginning. So this cycle can be truncated by appropriate means, by an appropriate acts. Similarly, the huge samsara chakram can also be uprooted, can also be truncated by a special acts called jnanam. In fact, the very word vriksha means which can be uprooted. So the common feature is both can be uprooted. The samsara is compared with the tree because they have got this feature of uprooting. So Paramatma mentioned many common features, however we have discussed. Shankara Bhagavad-pada mentioned many common features. We have mentioned 10 of them. Krishna Paramatma mentioned some more features in the further course of teaching. Aswadam prahuhu. You have to supply the word samsara. So this entire samsara, the life of change, is considered to be similar to aswatha. Aswadha Vruksha. Samsaram Aswadha Tulyam Prahuhu. So samsaram is compared to the peepal tree. Is compared to the Aswadha Vruksha. What type of Aswadha Vruksha? The description comes. Urdhva Moolam, which has got a root called Urdhvam, a tap root called Urdhvam. The word Urdhva means it has got two meanings. One meaning is that which is superior, therefore sacred. And the Lord is superior and sacred because Lord is the cause of this entire universe. He is the Jagat Karanam and he is superior. So the taproot is, which is superior, is Urdhvam. Urdhvam means superior. You should not take the literal meaning. It is physically above. Here the meaning is superior. It does not mean Bhagavan is spatially sitting in some Urdhva lokas. He is all over. He is everywhere. So he is all pervading. So here the word Urdhva means superior. The superior Tattvam is the Lord. That's what we want to mention. So Urdhva Moolam, that Moola Karanam is Urdhvam, superior. Moola Karanam for this entire universe is superior, Urdhva Moolam. So Urdhva means superior. Second meaning of Urdhvam is which is beyond our comprehension. If you do not understand a talk, you will say that your talk is going above my head. Incomprehensible. So this idea of beyond comprehension is Urdhvam. So superiority is the first meaning. The second meaning is incomprehensibility. Durvidnyayatvam. What is superior and what is incomprehensible is Brahma or Paramatma. And the superior incomprehensible Brahman is the Moola Karanam of the samsara tree. Moolam of the samsara tree. Moolam of the Jagat. Moolam means the root of the samsara tree, which I have already talked about. The next word is Adhasakam. All the branches in the form of 14 lokas are figuratively mentioned here, Adhasakam. They are below. Bhagavan is above, all the lokas are below. So they are inferior. The lokas are inferior because they are of Prakriti Tattvam. Bhagavan is Chaitanya Tattvam, lokas are Jada Tattvam. So they are Maya Tattvam, Padartha Tattvam. So they are inferior. All the branches are inferior. The superior, the opposite meaning is inferior. Adha, Adaha, Shakaha. In case of Bhagavan, we said incomprehensible, beyond comprehension. But lokas are comprehensible. Lokas are visible. They are perceptible compared to that superior Brahma Tattva, Chaitanya Tattva. Aswadha Vruksham is Avyayam. Avyayam means eternal, whose beginning and end cannot be traced. Because it flows in the form of a chain. The tree producing the seed producing the tree. So in the form of tree seed chain or tree seed cycle, it is Anadi, Anantaha. Similarly, the human life is also a cyclic chain. And it is Anadi and Anantaha. Jiva is beginningless. This Janma is because of previous karma. Previous karma is because of the previous Janma. Like that, it goes eternally. So karma janma chakra rupena avyayam. It is eternal. Chandansi yasya parnani. So the protecting and sustaining leaves of the samsara tree are none other than the Veda prescribed karmas, the Vaidika karmas. The Vaidika karmas prescribe lot of karma, and because of that, the samsara chakram is eternally sustained. So, whoever understands this, he is Vedavit. Vedavit means one who understands this, Aswadha Vruksham, the Samsara Vruksham, he is the Jnani. So here, Paramatma has explained various aspects of the Samsaram and the Aswadha Vruksham. The first one, that means Samsara Varnanam, is explained from Sloka number 1 up to the third Sloka, first stanza. The first aspect Paramatma explained is Mahatvam, the hugeness. The second aspect is Adyanta Rahitatvam, the beginningless. Anadi, Anantam. This is the aspect explained by Bhagavan. This is the commonality for both Samsaram and the Aswadham. The third aspect is Anirvachaniyam. It cannot be defined. Then Moolatvam, the fourth aspect. Fifth aspect is Sakatvam. Then Phalatvam, Asrayatvam, Chalanatvam, Chedatvam. So like this, he compared various aspects between the papal tree and the samsara. And he wanted to say that everything is changing and fleeting. Nothing is eternal in this world. This is all midya, not a real thing. So the only real thing is the Chetana Tattvam or Brahma. Brahma Satyam Jagan Vidya. The Jagat is having the pain and pleasure. It is Dukkha Misritattvam, Apurnam, Atruptikaratvam. This is what Paramatma wanted to mention and showcase the dosham in this samsara, so that the seeker will have moksha ichcha. This is the objective of these slokas. Samsara Varnanam, thereby creating moksha ichcha. By samsara Varnanam, Paramatma is showcasing the dosha darsanam of samsaram, thereby creating moksha ichcha. With this, we have completed sloka number 1. Continue from sloka number 2 in the next class. Om Tat Sat Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.